What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Alex here, and today I'm going to go over a concept that I touched on in one of my most recent videos called How to Start Investing in Sports Cards. If you do want to learn how to do that, I will have a card right up there. You can go check that video out, either pause this or watch it afterwards. There's a lot of good information in that video that you'll definitely want to learn about. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to actually do the research, which in my opinion is one of the most important things when first starting to get into sports card investing. Whether you're collecting baseball, basketball, or football, it doesn't really matter. All these concepts are going to apply. So this is a topic that's very important, and I would argue is probably the most important thing when starting to get into sports cards. And even if you are a seasoned veteran in the sports card game, you still have to do your research every single time there's a new player that breaks out. So if you want a refresher and you're a seasoned vet or you're brand new, this is going to be a great video for you. So let's get into it. All right, so this video is already assuming that you have a couple of players that you really want to focus in on and do some research. Maybe it's some players that play for your team that you root for, or maybe it's somebody that you just admire from a distance. But either way, these are going to be the best ways, in my opinion, to really learn about your player and really dig into the statistics. So the first thing that I always do whenever I'm thinking about investing in a player is go to either their baseball reference, their football reference, or their basketball reference page. I will leave links to baseball reference in the description below. Today, I'm going to be looking at Matt Chapman because Matt Chapman is actually a player that I really like investing in right now, just because he's one of the best players. I really dug into his numbers a few nights ago, and oh boy, he is a sleeper right now. And his rookie Topps cards are pretty dirt cheap compared to how good he's been over the last couple of years. So let's look over on Baseball Reference real quick. There's a couple of different websites that you'll want to use. Baseball Reference is one of them, and then I'll just show you the other one is FanGraphs. If you're unfamiliar with FanGraphs, FanGraphs is the best baseball statistic website out there. I could not sing its praises any higher. I mean, it has amazing tools. We'll get into that here in a second. But first, for baseball players, I always start on Baseball Reference just because it gives you an outlook. It's very digestible. One of my biggest critiques with FanGraphs is it's a lot of information. So if you are a bit newer into sport card collecting and don't really know about the sports, first off, that's something you got to do before you even choose players, right? So maybe I'll make a video about that coming up, but but here, let's dig into this. baseballreference.com. I've got Matt Chapman pulled up. All you have to do is type in the player here and then hit search, and it'll bring this up. So let's take a look at Matt Chapman. So he is a third baseman. He's right. He throws right. He bats right. 6 foot, 220. And then this over here will show their accolades so far that they've had in their career, and all of their numbers that they've had will be right down here. He's been with the same team his entire career. He's been with the Athletics every single season he's played, so he only has one number. So he has 1 All-Star, 2 Gold Gloves, 2 Platinum Gloves, and a Wilson overall Defensive Player of the Year, which, wow. So Platinum Glove means he was the best player in the AL twice overall. And then Wilson overall Defensive Player of the Year means he was the best player in the MLB, which is incredible. We'll get into that. So he's on the Athletics. This shows you like a little bio. And the most important thing whenever you're looking into players here is that you really want to take a look at their age, which is right here under their team. Age is the most important thing, in my opinion, of all of this stuff. Obviously, height and weight do matter. And obviously position does matter, but I would argue that Matt Chapman is one of the best third basemen in the MLB and might be the best third baseman in the AL. There's several, but I would say he's pretty good, which is why I checked him out in the first place. He's a California boy. So then actually let's dig into his numbers here. So the thing that really jumped out to me was his WAR. WAR, if you don't know, is wins above replacement. This is probably the most important statistic when trying to decide if a player is really worth going after or not. Okay, so his WAR in 2019 was 8.3. So that means he was worth 8.3 wins above an average third baseman. That's incredible. That tells me off the bat he is going to be a moneymaker. And then we go down. One thing, too, you want to look at is how many games and how many at-bats they've had. Because if they are constantly injured, obviously that's probably not somebody you really want to invest in much. So let's take a look at his games. Scroll down a little bit. Here it is, 2019. So 156 games, pretty good. There's 162 games in the MLB season most years. So that's good. And he was an all-star last year, which is also great. And if you come over here to awards, you can check out all-star, MVP 6. What does MVP 6 mean? That means he was in 6th place in the MVP voting in the AL. And GG obviously means gold glove. And the season before, he was 7th place in the MVP. So now he's really starting to build a resume of success and really starting to build a resume of high-level play. So we can go here and really check out and dig into the numbers. He had 91 RBI, 36 home runs. That's very good. Quite a big bump from his 2018. So that means to me, if I see a huge jump in production, and you can take this from sport to sport, right? If you're looking at basketball, if their points per game jumps up 3 to 7, 10 points from season to season, you can kind of take that as, okay, this guy might really be hitting his stride and really entering his prime. 24 to 36, that's a huge jump. One thing you definitely want to look at, especially if you're looking at baseball players, is these 3 statistics. Their on-base percentage, their slugging percentage, and their OPS. These 3 stats are some of the most looked at stats when trying to really get a good gauge on whether a hitter is a good or a poor hitter. So on-base percentage is 342, pretty good. Slugging percentage is 506, pretty good. And then his OPS is 848, definitely above average. So at this point, I'm really starting to like what Matt Chapman brings to the table. One thing that is kind of a cause for concern, but honestly, not too much, is the fact that his batting average did drop quite significantly. His batting average did drop from 278 in 2018 to 249 in 2019, but his on-base percentage didn't fall off too much. So that's kind of a wash. That's kind of a wash in my opinion. Batting average, baseball card statistics as they're called, not really looked at so much anymore from back in the 80s and even 90s. They don't really care about batting average. Really doesn't matter for your production anymore. So that's really what you want to look at when you're looking at baseball reference. Again, there's a basketball reference, there's a football reference, there's a hockey reference. I'm sure there's a soccer reference as well. So those are the things. Matt Chapman, 3-year guy, really starting to come into his own. He was an MVP vote getter. He's a gold glover, an all-star. I mean, I'm really digging him. So at this point, I'm pretty excited about him. So the next thing I do, after I think that a player is worth it, I'll head on over to FanGraphs. I have the FanGraphs of Matt Chapman already pulled up. It gives you a lot of the same information. These sites are very similar. A lot of baseball folks, baseball people, will tell you that FanGraphs is the best, and it really is. It's just very good. They have the service time, they have free agent when they're expected to become a free agent, arbitration eligible, and how many minor league options the team has. So how many times they can put them in the minors and take them up throughout the season without having them actually have to put them on waivers. So that's something that's very important, especially with a young up-and-coming player. So if we go down, we can see basically the same stats. So the WAR here is 6.1, and sometimes Baseball References WAR and FanGraphs WARs will be a little bit off. They use a little bit different math sometimes, so that can be kind of tricky. Typically, I would say if you're dealing with baseball, stick with FanGraphs. So most of the time, I would say stick with FanGraphs. That's what a lot of people go by. Another thing to look for is the strikeout and walk percentage. Obviously, sometimes this doesn't matter, but when you're looking to invest in a player that you think is going to be an elite player, you really do need to pay attention to these little things like this. So one of the cool things is you can compare it to the league average, which is an awesome tool. You can really see how good or bad or completely average a player is. So if we look here, 2019 is what we want to look at. Average, I already clicked on it, is 8.5 walk rate. That means 10.9%, much higher, 2 percentage points higher than league average. And we look at his strikeout percentage is 2 percentage points less almost than most hitters. So that's pretty darn good. That's definitely something to keep in mind. The fact that his trajectory is going up, his home run rate is going up, his walk rate's good, his strikeout rate's very good. I think this is fine. Another cool thing about FanGraphs is you can actually create an account and go a little bit more in depth with it. So you can really start to dig into some of these stats. And they have a lot of different stats. They have splits, so like home road, whether it's night, whether it's day, all sorts of stuff. You can look at their entire game log from the season before. I mean, it's super in-depth, guys. It's really in-depth. You can look even at their play log, which, I mean, this by play, how they did. If you really want to dig in, you can look at their spray chart. If you're not aware, a spray chart is just this, exactly where they hit every single ball they put in play throughout the season. It's pretty incredible and very in-depth. You can look at their heat map. So a heat map is exactly what it looks like. Red means they hit the ball very well, and blue is they struggle with it. And another thing here is they have articles on FanGraphs, which is very useful. We can read an article from January 22nd, 2020, The Sleeper Bust Third Baseman by Paul Sporer, and definitely help you decide on whether a player is worth it or not. And then RotoWire News, Chapman could reach the next level of development as a hitter by more consistently laying off high outside pitches. So we scroll down, this is where he stands. Right up here, and look at that. That little piece of info corroborated perfectly by this heat map. Obviously, this is his weakest part of the zone. So, I mean, this site is just gold, you guys. You really have to check it out. If you're looking at investing in baseball cards, do not even spend a single dime unless you check out a player on their FanGraphs page, and then from there you can make an educated decision. So after you've decided whether you want to pull the trigger on a particular player, so again, Matt Chapman, we're going to go on over to, not eBay, I do have eBay pulled up, but we're going to check out a website called CalmSea. And what CalmSea is it's an auction style website. You can sign up, you can get store credit even. I think you get discounts if you use store credit. So there's a lot of perks to becoming a member and getting store credit. I'll typically use CalmSea as a good baseline to see how much a specific card should be. So you can type in any player. I've already typed in Matt Chapman up here. And then it brings up every single card that they have in stock. And this is a consignment website, guys. So what this means is you or I could put a card on CalmSea, sell it. They take a little chunk. It's a safe way to buy and sell cards. It really is. So let's take a look. Over here, you can check out different attributes. So if you want game use stuff, you got memorabilia. If you want autos, they have autographs. Rookie year, pre-rookie card, rookie related, serial numbered, so numbered ones, or rookie card. I'm just going to click on rookie card. And here's every single one. So they've only got one page. So maybe somebody's starting to pick up on Matt Chapman, because I think I checked last night and there were several more. So that's actually very interesting. And then it shows you here, you can search by sellers, graded or ungraded. We've only got one page to look at, so I'm not even going to click that. If he had some cards with multiple players on it, that's what that was here. You know, Matt Olson, his teammate, Rhys Hoskins, and so on. So, but again, we're just looking at Matt Chapman, and here's a little tip. This card, I think, is going to start going up if he can stay healthy. But the one I'm going to be looking at here is the PSA 10 starting at 37.05. So now I click on it, I look at it, turn it over, get a feel for what the front and the back is. You definitely need to know what it looks like. So it's a 2017 Topps Update US number 4 is the one we're searching for. So then I like to go on over to eBay and check eBay. So you want to scroll down again, go to sold items completed sales. Then you can type in Matt Chapman PSA number 10 Topps Update, and here it is. It'll auto-populate it sometimes for you. And right here, this is actually cheaper. A couple of these are actually cheaper than on CalmSea. After shipping and after tax and everything, you're going to be looking right around 40 bucks. It's going to be about the same though on CalmSea. So you can hit recently ended, and yeah, there it is. This one sold a couple nights ago, $34, $5 shipping. So probably about $41, $42 out the door. I think that's actually a pretty good price, just a tip. There's a lot of cool stuff too you can do with this. You can save your search. That really helps you. You can have it notified to your phone or emailed to you, which is really good. I don't know if you really want to get notified every single time somebody posts this card on eBay. That might get kind of monotonous, but if you're okay with that, then by all means. Now we kick it over to eBay active listings on this card. It's always automatically selected to do best match here. What I like to do is I like to hit ending first, and then you look here. Okay, so this one right here is a buy it now for $40 plus $4 shipping. Not bad. It's going to end up being probably close to 50 bucks out the door. So not bad. This is a chrome too. Keep in mind with that as well. There are a lot of Topps bases that you will see, you will click, you'll start to look at it, be like, oh man, this is a really good price for the Topps paper. And then you'll notice it's a Topps Chrome. There's nothing wrong with Topps Chrome. There's nothing wrong with Chrome cards. Obviously, people love Chrome cards, but they tend to grade a lot easier. So the population report, if you were to go check that out, which we'll do that in a bit, but the population report is typically going to be a lot higher for the Chrome cards just because they grade easier typically. So we'll scroll down here a little bit. Here's another Chrome. Here's another Chrome. Here's another Chrome. So as you can see, there's a lot of Chromes compared to paper. And here's one, Topps Update Baseball. So this is the one we want. This is not a Chrome. We'll click on it. And there it is. Yep. Oh, let me get out of the way. There we go. So take a look at it. One thing you always want to do as well, actually read the description, because sometimes people will put, I've seen that, like, it'll say lot of 4 Matt Chapman rookie cards, PSA 10, lot of 6, and then you read the description, it'll say lot of 5. You know, you definitely don't want that. You definitely won't want that. So 2017 Topps Update, da-da-da-da-da. This auction contains 1. I really like how this seller put the actual number. That's good. 2017 Topps Update, graded by PSA. The card is a Gem Mint 10. 3-day auction, includes shipping fees. Check out my other auctions. So this seems like a good seller. You go up, you check out their feedback. You always want to buy from a seller with good feedback. If they've only got 1 or 2 sales and like kind of sketchy and maybe the price is just amazing, guys, you definitely be cautious. People are out here scamming people, especially how popular sports cards are getting right now. So be cautious. This guy almost has 6,000 sales, so this is legit. I'll actually add this to my watch list. That's something you can do too. So add your watch list, and then you can go up here. Let's head on over to PSA population reports. All right, so we're at psacard.com is the actual website that you want to go to. psacard.com. This is the landing page that they have. It's a really easy website to navigate. I really like it. So we head up here, Pop Report. So Pop Report, that's what we want. We click on Pop Report. Search by players. Matt Chapman Topps Update. That's the one we want. That's the one we're going to check out. Scroll down a little bit. You might have to roll down to just see it. USA 4. So this will show you how many 10s, how many total, how many 9s. So here's the grade. Here's the 10s. Here's the 9. And here's total right here. So there's 412 total 10s in circulation for PSA. So yeah, everybody, that's really how to do your research. It's very, very important that you do so, because you don't want to invest in a player that just isn't going to be worth it, or has a bunch of injuries, or maybe is older than you originally thought, just do your research. I would say, to recap, first thing you want to do, search them up on their reference page, get a general idea of their bio, look into some of their just baseline statistics. Then if you're working with baseball, again, head on over to FanGraphs, check that out, dig a little bit deeper, compare them to the league averages, look at their spray chart, look at their heat map, and really dig into them as a player. Make sure that their games are high. Make sure that they have some accolades under their belt if they've been in the league 2 or 3 years. And then you head on over to a website like CalmSea. There is a lot of other websites out there that are auction style websites. And then obviously go on over to eBay and really search for the deals. You really obviously buy low, sell high. That sounds super obvious, but it's easy to get locked into a card that you really want and you really are high on and pay, $5, $6, $10 more, and then you're really looking at a bad investment. So I hope this video has helped everybody. I really do hope, if you did find value in it, to smash that like and subscribe button, because I'm bringing out new videos every single day I can. I'm bringing one out during quarantine because I know that people are into sports cars and I want to help people, and everybody's bored in the house right now, so everybody's got some time to watch some videos and learn. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I post content over there as well. But until next time, keep cracking packs, keep collecting, and I will see you in the next one.